Minister Wong made a comment during one of her responses in question time that, sun sets and sun rises were those certainties in life. Well, I think we know the other certainty in life is that economics doesn't change. The principles of economics don't change, whoever's in government. However, with all certainty, we know that those now sitting on the government benches don't understand the fundamentals of economics. Supply and demand, the most basic principle underpinning economics, doesn't change. However, those opposite, when asked questions in response to the Reserve Bank's comments around the homegrown sticky inflation, meaning that interest rates are going to be higher for longer, base economic principles have clearly vacated the building yet again. Australians have had over 12 interest rate rises since this government has come into being, and we are continuing to see the cost of living crisis have impacts far and wide across the Australian community. And, possibly mum and dads are all doing it tough with their kids, and we know trying to pay the school fees, put the groceries in the pantry and food on the table, school uniforms on, are all becoming increasingly difficult. But what we have seen as well, and is probably not getting enough attention, and certainly not from this government any attention, is that insolvencies of businesses are now at such high levels that we have not seen levels like this for well over 2 decades of insolvencies, and a quarter of those insolvencies are in the construction sector. Now, we've been talking about cost of living crisis today, as well as we've been talking about the disgraceful behaviour of the CFMEU. And so we need to potentially draw the link between housing costs in this country, construction costs in this country, construction companies going out of business, unable to keep up with union demands and union heavyweights that are coming through and strong-arming them into particular contracts. So the entire economy is facing significant challenges, significant headwinds, and we know every mum and dad at home trying to pay the gas bill, trying to put fuel in the car, all of those costs are increasing. It's more and more difficult to get in and see a GP. I noticed today there's only an article that the wonderful new health clinics that the Labor Party keeps spruiking is actually taking doctors out of general practice and putting them into those clinics against advice given to them from the AMA and the RAACGP. So we are seeing this government continue to ignore at every opportunity advice from experts in any area, and none more so than what we're seeing from the Reserve Bank. It is time that this government starts to understand what their spending means, what their addiction to spending means for all of us in the economy. We know that the Reserve Bank is trying to put its foot on the brake of the economy. It's trying to slow things down. It's trying to get inflation down, back into the bad, so that interest rates can be moderated. And instead, this government, who doesn't understand the basics of economic principles, has its foot firmly entrenched on the accelerator, just speeding things up, $315 billion worth of spending that they are just addicted to. We know that the RBA has doubled its forecast of government spending. It was originally at 2%, 2.1%. It's now over 4%. This is this ridiculous spendathon that this government is committed to. But to listen to them in here answering questions, to hear them speak, I mean, your stomach turns. It's nauseating to listen to them talk about how they genuinely think that they've made things better. They genuinely think they've delivered cost of living relief. They genuinely think that somehow or other things are going well for Australian families, that people are feeling comfortable and secure in their jobs, and they're feeling comfortable and secure in their housing, which is the complete opposite of how Australians are feeling. Australians are not feeling safe. They're not feeling secure. They are feeling economically vulnerable. But to listen to those opposite, everything's just peachy keen. They just think they're doing a great job and that they're going to just keep sailing through. And all they're doing, though, is putting more and more pain onto Australians every day, and this pain is not going away any time soon. Every decision this government makes just makes the pain worse, makes the pain longer, and goes just that little bit deeper.